in my city. In my city, I think 20 to 25 degree is good
Yeah.
for people. But if it's lower, for example, 10 to 8 50, it's so cool. But when
Uh-huh.
I went in from 10 to 15 degree, let people go out and work in the city. But I see some friends from the Western America. They can wear the short and they can go out and I think they feel like
Yeah,
very
since yeah,
and
it's not cold. Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
because
So,
they from yeah, a location that very cold. So
yeah,
it's okay, yeah. But
of
Vietnamese
course.
people it's so cold. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I actually I see like, sometimes I talk to my students and they say, okay, teacher, today is a little cold. And I'm like, okay, so tell me what's the weather like? So for
Yeah.
example, if I want to change it to centigrade, it's like, for example, 20. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? 20 is cold? It's perfect. Just go out and enjoy and enjoy. It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it depends on your location, your country. And
Yeah.
so what's the winter like? So it's
Yeah.
so cold, snow or no?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm really happy that we are having good weather now. And
Yeah.
it's actually, yeah, it can change our mood, make people really happy. I
Yeah.
think so. You can see everyone in the street is really happy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's get started with our book, what new topic. Let me share the board. Okay, that's it. Well, so I remember that we were talking about this word, we were completing the table, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, we couldn't finish this word. So let's review, let's check it again, and then we can keep going. Okay, so do you remember? So let's talk about the meaning and, of course, the adjective form of the noun one by one. Okay, the first one, do you remember the
Yeah.
first one?
Yeah. That mean is similar with
Describe.
tricky.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
is description, and now we're gonna have an adjective. Okay, so we have description. Okay, deception and deceptive. I say
Yeah.
description, deception and deceptive. Okay, and
Yeah.
responsibility, responsible, fairness, fair. If you remember,
Yeah.
could you say the second one? Generosity.
Generous.
Yeah, of course, and credibility.
Credible.
Very good, credible. And the next one, that is ethic.
Ethical.
Very good, of course, ethical. And we have corruption.
Mm, crop.
Yeah,
Uh,
corrupt. Yeah.
crop.
And of course, you know that corrupt can be used as a verb or adjective. So
Yeah.
both, okay, yeah. And we have prejudice.
President.
Prejudice, of course. And greed.
Great.
Yeah. Greedy. So you know that
Yeah.
the adjective is greedy. And so discrimination.
Mm, Discriminate.
No, discriminatory. Okay,
That's three. Yeah.
discriminatory, of
Right.
course.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
discriminatory. Okay, well, so ethical, corrupt, prejudiced, greedy, and discriminatory. Okay, well, do you have any questions related? Of course, we talked about the meaning of this word, but if you have any question related to the meaning of them, so which one?
Yeah.
Maybe,
In the previous class, you said that today you will guide me the adjective how to convert from noun to adjective when when we
Ah, I remember. So I said ed.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember ed. And yeah, well,
yeah.
so first of all, let's talk about ed, ing adjective. Do you know the difference between ed? So you know that we can add ed and ing to a noun, for example, to make or verb to make an adjective. So do you know the difference between ed and ing?
Mm, I think ed in might be in a passive tense, but
Yeah.
I yeah IMD we use for IND, right?
Okay, so when we say ed, it refers to you, your feeling, your emotion. So
Mm,
normally, for example, tired is verb. When I add d, tired, this is an
mm,
adjective to describe you. So
mm,
when you want to talk about feeling and emotion, okay,
mm,
that refers to a person, you can use ed adjective.
mm,
And now, if you want to talk about and describe a situation, okay,
mm,
you should use ing form. For example, the class is boring, so I feel bored. If I say I'm boring, it means I make you feel bored. So ing form adjective normally talk about
mm,
used to talk about think a situation.
mm,
This situation causes you feel worried. So I use ing. Now, so we have ed, emotional state, and of course ing, cause, reason why you feel bored. So this is the first one. Okay, and we have, for example, first of all, about the pronunciation of we, tiv. Okay, for example, we have some adjectives ending in tive, tiv. Okay, for example, act is a verb,
mm, mm,
active. Create is a verb, creative. So
mm,
when we have actually this type of adjectives are usually used to describe ability or quality of something.
mm,
Okay? So, for example, when I say you are creative, I'm talking about your ability.
yeah,
When I say you are, for example, active, okay? So you are the state of being active,
yeah,
sensitive, okay? Again, we have a verb, then we can add
mm,
tive, that is tiv, okay? Why? To describe the quality or ability of something. So
mm,
sometimes creative, or for example, sensitive, okay?
mm, yeah,
Well, let's see what, and do you need me to write them on the board?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of course. So let me write on the board before I forget. Okay. Well, so I read some summary. Let's so okay, TIV, like TIVE. Okay, like creative. Okay.
Mm,
So ability and quality. Okay. So, or maybe like characteristic, let me write it here, or characteristic of something. So this is about the first one. Oh, let me make it a little larger. Font is too small. It's not clear. Okay, this way I think is better. TIFF. Okay,
mm,
and then we have ed and ing. So ing.
mm,
Okay, we can say to describe a situation that causes a feeling. I know a feeling since it's related to this actually. And ed feeling and emotion, how you feel. Well, and we have another one, for example, the last one, that is discriminatory. Discriminatory. This one is somehow like IV. They're the same. So again, we have TORY, so some adjectives. We have actually a verb, and then we want to use it to describe something, for example, related to a function or purpose, or sometimes action. For example, let me give you observatory. Observatory. So that is observe and tory. What is that? Observatory is a place, actually it refers a place for observing. So ori, observatory. So I can say that this type, like first of all, tory and if, they're the same. So they're the same, and we use them to describe a function. For example, if something is, I don't know, like observatory, it means you can use it. It can be a place, or maybe, I don't know, something used for observing. Okay, for example, in scientific research, we use it. So they're somehow the same. Well, so let me write the last one, TORY.
Yeah.
That is TORY. Function or a place or maybe action. So, yeah, this is the way that we can use it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And let me see, we have no other adjective, and you know that first, so they're not the, okay, responsible and justice. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Any questions?
Yeah, that the question that we have force for the ending of adjective, right?
Yeah, of course, they are ending. So you
Yeah.
know that we make adjectives, of course, not always. So we make adjective using a verb and then adding something, okay? So this can be ing, this can be ed, this can be ture, this can be, for example, if or tiv, okay?
Yeah.
So this way you can make adjective. Now,
Yeah.
the use of them is a little slightly different, so you need to know how to use them, just this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just let me write tiv or if is better here, since some verbs end in T. So you
Yeah.
have create, creative. So you don't need to add. Okay. Well, and any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, very good. Well, and now let's keep going with this one. What is the context? It's about hummingbird teas, focuses on specialty teas from countries such as China, India, and South Africa. The unique selling point of the business is its efforts. It sources teas from small local farmers and separates for trade. It has recently brought in Color and PR consultant to help raise its profile, and Color has been organizing a trip for reporters from Ethical Consumers magazine to see Hummingbird's operation. She's meeting with the reporters to give details of the trip. So let's see. This is about, as you can see, we have a context and now we're going to listen. Let's listen,
Yeah.
then we talk about it, okay?
Yeah.
5.2, one moment, please. Okay. Right.
5.2 Part 1.
Will we get our itinerary in writing after this meeting, or should we take notes?
We'll email you the final itinerary once you've decided what you'd like to see. And if you have any other questions, you can ask our travel coordinator, Janet Lawson. She's coming in later on this morning to speak with you.
Thanks.
So we're planning to show you how Hummingbird's operation works in China and some of the projects it's involved in.
That sounds good.
The idea is to spend 4 days at one of the sites where the tea is grown. This will give you the opportunity to talk to the locals who supply the company.
So, can we interview them?
Yes, but we advise you to set this up directly with them and ask their permission first. And of course, do be discreet and respect their privacy.
Of course.
While you're there, you'll get the opportunity to accompany the workers in their daily work. This will give you a real insight into their lives and how Hummingbird's teas are produced.
That sounds really interesting.
OK, now the schedules. We've looked at all the options and we're going to arrange 2 dates, one in February and one in May. The February flight leaves on the 15th, so we need fixed bookings from you by January the 10th.
Can I just ask, are we returning on the 19th or 20th of February?
The 20th. The trip will involve a lot of road travel and one internal flight, and we'll talk.
Well, so actually here we have some notes, but we need to modify them. So it's like, there should be a little, different. For example, trip planned to China or South Africa. Is it correct, do you think? Not just, I heard just China.
Yeah, it is the requirement of this practice that listen and take note, right? So
yeah.
So compare with the content. It's a textbook.
Okay, so as you can see, we have some notes here,
Yeah.
but what we heard is slightly different from what we have here, what we see here. So let's change. Trip planned to China or South Africa. I heard trip planned to China.
Yeah.
Not South Africa. 5 day traveling around different tea plantations. So is it right, or you want to change it?
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, of course. The next one, opportunities for sightseeing will be provided.
No, they visit a supplier.
No,
that
of
means,
course, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's not an opportunity for sightseeing.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. And two possible
dates for trip February or May, not March.
Yeah, February. Yeah, of course. In May, of course. Yeah, and two internal flights.
Yeah, I didn't catch up.
I heard a lot, not two. A lot of inner. Yeah, the last sentence, the last phrase. She said there are a lot of internal flight, not. Let me say something about this. Internal, interest, internet. So what's the rule? So just let me explain. Sometimes it makes people a little confused when we say internal, internet. So in conversation, it's like American accent. So when we speak quickly, we tend to drop this T after N. But standard pronunciation, so when you talk to people, you can say internet. Definitely correct. Interest. Definitely correct. Part T, that is definitely correct. Internal. But when you talk to native speaker, especially when speaking fast, that is conversational. So we say internet, interest, international, not international. So just that this is a real pronunciation rule about T after N. T after N can be dropped. Okay. Well, yeah.
My question is, all words with
Yes.
T after with T after N may be
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah.
Or
Let me
the
say
drop.
something. When we say all, okay, normally for rules, for every rule, we say usually. Since there are always exceptions, okay, there are always exceptions. Okay, now I don't remember since mostly we drop this, but it's not dropped totally. So like very soft, and it's not really audible, so you can't hear it. So yes, most of the time, if in conversation, so you can drop T after N. So internet, international, interest. So this is the way that T after N. This is a rule in conversation. Yeah. Just American. I have no idea about British since they're totally, and they pronounce it so strongly. So it's totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. And now let's listen and complete these phrases. Okay. Once you've decided, okay, let's listen again and complete. Let's check the questions together. Okay. What you'd like to see? Hummingbird operation works in China, 4 days. Okay, listen.
5.2. Part 1.
Will we get our itinerary in writing after this meeting, or should we take notes?
We'll email you the final itinerary once you've decided what you'd like to see. And if you have any other questions, you can ask our travel coordinator, Janet Lawson. She's coming in later on this morning to speak with you.
Thanks.
So we're planning to show you how Hummingbird's operation works in China.
So 1 and 2.
We will get one new design.
Yeah, we'll guess or we'll email.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, let's listen again.
Will we
5.2. Part 1.
Will we get our itinerary in writing after this meeting, or should we take notes?
We'll email you the final itinerary once you've decided what you'd like to see. And if you have any other questions, you can ask our travel coordinator, Janet Lawson. She's coming in later on this morning to speak with you.
Thanks.
So we're planning to show you how Hummingbird's operation works in China. And
so
we will get
we'll email the final. Yeah. Let me write.
Yeah.
We'll email, since it's a new word, the final. Okay, now we have a word that is itinerary. What is that? Itinerary is the final plan, for example. So as we can say schedule. So detail, it's about journey or a trip or any event.
Can you explain me about the itinerary?
Itinerary. Okay, that is, as I told you, schedule, plan for a trip or event. Yeah, this is schedule or plan of, for example, trip or event.
Yeah.
Itinerary. Okay. Well, and this is the first one. The second one. So what?
Witness with something.
So much. Yeah, I was so. Yeah. Okay. So it was, we're planning to show you. So let's listen. We're planning to show you. Listen.
Morning to speak with you.
Thanks.
So we're planning to show you how Hummingbird's operation works in China.
So we're planning. Very good. Okay.
And some of the projects it's involved in.
That sounds good.
The idea is to spend 4 days at one of the sites where the tea is grown.
The what is to spend?
The idea.
idea is to spend, yeah.
This will give you the opportunity to talk to the locals who supply the company.
So, can we interview them?
Yes, but we advise you to set this up directly with them and ask their permission first. And of course, do be discreet and respect their privacy.
Of course.
While you're there, you'll get the opportunity to accompany the workers in their daily work. This will give you a real insight into their
So, could you hear?
You
The
get
opportunity, of course.
opportunity, yeah.
lives and how hummingbirds' teas are produced.
That sounds really interesting.
Okay, now the schedules. We've looked at all the options and we're going to arrange 2 dates, one in February and
We
Can range today.
we're
When
going to arrange. We're going to arrange 2 dates. Okay, just listen. Schedule, schedule. Schedule, schedule. Schedule is American, schedule is British. Both are the same. What is a schedule? What is this? It's not schedule. Schedule. It's really easy. American accent is really easy. Why they make everything so difficult? What is this schedule? So since my students ask me, so well, especially when I play something British accent, they say, oh, teacher, what is that? I need to actually change it and actually, yeah, and say the American version so that it can be more understandable. So schedule is British version of schedule. Well, and now let's listen to, yeah.
Wait, I have question. Can you
Sure.
tell me the in the file number going to what?
Arrange.
Five.
Arrange. We're going to arrange 2 dates. Arrange 2 dates, of course.
Yes.
Okay, now let's listen to the second part. What activities and visits can the reporter take part in? And what advice can Claire give about the guide? So let's see. Okay.
5.3, Part 2.
So that was the timetable. Now I'd like to tell you a bit about your stay. Feel free to ask any questions you may have. We'd like to invite you to watch the tea being prepared and spend a day sampling the local specialities, which are produced by the cooperative in the village.
That would be great. Does anyone there speak English?
On the whole, English isn't spoken, so we strongly recommend you stay with our guide, who can interpret for you.
Good idea.
On the subject of language, you're also welcome to visit a project set up to help build a new school.
That sounds really interesting. I'd like to take you up on that.
Good, but I should warn you it's quite a long trip. Let me know how many of you would like to do this, as it would be a good idea to travel with our interpreter.
That makes sense. We'll speak to our colleagues and let you know.
What about environmental projects?
The company is supporting a charity called Tree 2000 Foundation, and there's a reforestation scheme in one of the regions where it does business. As Hummingbird Teas is just a financial backer, it doesn't actively work in this field, but a visit to the site is highly recommended.
What will we see?
The project managers who work on site are all professional environmentalists. They'll explain what's happening to the area and show you what the charity is doing to improve the management of the forests. I was there for the first time last month and found it fascinating. It's well worth a visit.
That's not really what I'm looking for. The feature I want to write should focus more on the people.
Well, alternatively, we'd be delighted to introduce you to the team who work for Hummingbird in China. They aren't tea makers. They're employed to coordinate the business. I'm sure they have some interesting experiences they'd like to share.
That would be great. It's just the kind of thing I need.
Okay, so let's just run through the itinerary.
Well, what activities and visits can the reporters take part in?
Sorry?
What activities, number 1, and visits can the reporters take part in?
Visits a village.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Where tea grow and and see the local people,
Yeah.
but all of the local people, they don't speak in English, so they should
Yeah.
have a translator.
Yeah, of course. And and I heard like, watching the process of preparing tea. Yeah, maybe
Mm,
I heard, yeah, this was. And of course, the project was about uh they want to build a school, something like this, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, as
yeah,
I heard,
yeah.
yeah, of course. So they can actually visit the project. And what advice can Claire give about? So, as you
Okay.
said, no one speaks English.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they need interpreter. So, like, because no one,
yeah.
okay, they need guide. Wow. Okay, now let's listen and get more detail. Complete this. But let's talk about this picture. I'm into this. What is this? It's so good. Look at this. Wow, what are you doing? And they do this by hand. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen?
if you have chance to visit my country, and
Yeah.
you could see look like that image, very nice.
Wow.
And the farmer, they collect tea, yeah.
Yeah, that's so perfect. Okay, actually, I will get help about, my since I'm sure that I do this, like, I want to do this, but I have no idea where, how, since I heard about two cities like, Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, and I know that you have really beautiful tourist attraction that is Dala
Yeah,
or Dana. Yeah. So I don't know. So you will help me. Where to go? When? What is the? Yeah, really. I want to travel to a country and I want to see. It's really interesting. So I'm into this picture. Look at this. So
yeah.
how?
Depend on what you like to yeah. Because Vietnam, we have very long beach from
Ah,
south, and we have to that means we have to in the north and in the south very different weather. In the north,
yeah.
very cold, and but in the
Very cold like what? Very cold like
well,
what? I want to know what does
yeah.
it mean when you say very cold? So I should so very cold, like give me, for example, temperature. For example, yeah, what
Yeah.
what is very cold?
Um, I think in the south we have two season. It's raining season, and
Yeah,
yeah, in
right,
the right
right.
season. But in the north we have four season. That
Ah,
means spring, spring.
fall and winter.
Yeah,
Fall.
fall and
Yeah.
winter. If you want to have the atmosphere at beach, we should we should visit in South Vietnam, for example, Da Nang and Nha
Uh,
Trang and Vũng Tàu and Phu Quoc. But
yeah.
yeah, but if you want to see that image and
Yeah.
traditional, you have to visit the north of
Ah.
Vietnam. Yeah.
So I would go for the north. So I think so.
Yeah.
I really want to see. Yeah, I really want to see this
Yeah.
picture. And so
I
can
see a lot yeah, the for foreign friend,
foreigners, of course.
yeah, foreign friend,
Yeah.
they land a motorbike, so they go by themselves to
Yeah.
sightseeing and to visit some village in the north of Vietnam.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
perfect. But tell me, so when the best time, for example, if I want to have a short trip, not of course like
I
just a few days. So when? So which
I think
month
this
can be the
this
best?
this time that means from now until the end of April.
Okay,
Or
April.
yeah, or from the September to November.
Yeah, of
Not that
course.
very it warm and but not hot, and so you can see a few tea, and you can see a few a few flower. Very
Well, and how about accommodation? So, for example, hotels, or I don't know, maybe where I can stay. So, are there some, I don't know, hotels? Just I have no idea about the north of Vietnam. So, how? So, where?
yeah, I think if you go to
North.
if you
I
go
mean,
to
north of
the,
your country. The
the,
north.
the north, but it's not famous. You can find only motel. Yeah,
Good.
but
So,
easy to find. Yeah.
easy to find, but I can. So got it. Yeah. So I will do.
Do,
I
do,
will make plan.
do you
I
hear about the Sapa?
No, no,
Uh-huh.
no, what is
Yeah,
it?
it's very famous, and you can see cloud.
Ah,
Cloud. Yeah, and yeah, I think it very nice.
yeah, of course. So
Yes.
it's high
Yeah,
and on
high,
top of
very
mountain.
high.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
very high. Yeah, got it.
You
So
can touch,
I,
you can touch the cloud.
what? So I can see, actually, I can see here, look at this, like, clouds are really close, clouds are really near to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ground. And since like
yeah,
you can touch them, this is
yeah.
so amazing. So I like it. And so got it. So by the end of April, I have time to make some plans. Maybe, maybe one day I will teach you from your country. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
take my laptop
yeah,
and of course we travel. Who knows? Well,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you for your help and
yeah.
information, useful information. Now I
When
have idea.
when you when you make your plan, I will send you some guy, and I will send you some place in detail, and you can choose.
Wow, thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you
yeah,
so much. Of course, I will let
yeah,
you know. Of course,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Well, okay.
yeah,
Let's listen again and complete these phrases now. Let's
yeah.
see again. Okay.
5.3, Part 2.
So that was the timetable. Now I'd like to tell you a bit about your stay. Feel free to ask any questions you may have. We'd like to invite you to watch the tea being prepared and spend a day sampling the local specialities.
Well, we'd,
We like to invite.
we'd like to invite you to watch the tea being prepared.
Yeah.
Which are produced by the cooperative in the village.
That would be great. Does anyone there speak English?
On the whole, English isn't spoken, so we strongly recommend you stay with our guide who can interpret.
So
We
English is,
strong recommend.
yeah, of course, you to stay with a guide. Yeah.
For you.
Good idea.
On the subject of language, you're also welcome to visit a project set up to help build a new school.
On the subject of language,
We also
you're also welcome. You're
uh,
also welcome to visit.
yeah, to visit. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Welcome to visit, okay?
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting. I'd like to take you up on that.
Good. But I should warn you, it's
So it was like that.
Yeah. Sound like really interesting.
Yeah, of course. And this one, I heard something like
I should do something, but
yeah, I'd
I think.
like to take you up on that. Take up. Take
Mm,
up. I'd like you take up to start to do something. I'd like you take up and that.
mm.
Yeah.
quite a long trip. Let me know how many of you would like to do this, as it would be a good idea to travel with our interpreter.
As it would
Yeah.
be.
I don't hear.
Yeah, it would be good idea. Listen, as it would be good idea.
Yeah.
Let me know how many of you would like to do this, as it would be a good idea to travel with our interpreter.
Yeah, interpreter. So
It would be
good idea to travel,
Yeah.
of course.
That makes sense. We'll speak to our colleagues and let you know.
What about environmental projects?
The company is supporting a charity called Tree 2000 Foundation, and there's a reforestation scheme in one of the regions where it does business. As Hummingbird Teas is just a financial backer, it doesn't actively work in this field, but a visit to the site is highly recommended.
Okay, but a visit to the site is
Is a high to recommendation.
highly recommended. Highly,
yeah.
strongly recommended.
Yeah.
What will we see?
The project managers who work on site are all professional environmentalists. They'll explain what's happening to the area and show you what the charity is doing to improve the management of the forests. I was there for the first time last month and found it fascinating. It's well worth a visit.
It's,
Well worth.
yeah, well worth a visit. Very good.
That's not really what I'm looking for. The feature I want to write should focus more on the people.
Well, alternative.
That's not really what really I'm looking for. That's not really what I'm looking for. That's not what, yeah.
Alternatively, we'd be delighted to introduce you to the team who work for Hummingbird in China.
Well,
Can you reply?
Of course, this word. Yeah.
Last month and found it fascinating. It's well worth a visit.
That's not really what I'm looking for. The feature I want to write should focus more on the people.
Well, alternatively, we'd be delighted to introduce you to the team who work for Hummingbird in China.
We would be delighted. Delighted means happy. We would be happy to introduce you to the team. Delighted, of course. We would be delighted to introduce you. Delighted means happy.
Yeah.
China. They aren't tea makers. They're employed to coordinate the business. I'm sure they have some interesting experiences they'd like to share.
That would be great. It's just the kind of thing I need.
That would be great. It's
the kind of thing I need.
Of course, it's just the kind of thing I need. Very good. Well, and now we have some phrases here. We completed and filled in the blanks. Now we need to put the phrases 1 to 10 in actually into categories. Which one was actually is used for inviting? Which one recommending? Which one responding to an invitation or recommendation? So the first one, would like to invite you so it's inviting, recommending, would like to invite you. So it's recommending or inviting. Of course, we are inviting you. So it's inviting. So to invite someone, we can say we would like, okay, to invite you.
So my question is, we have to match ABC to
of course
1 to 10.
Of course. Right? Actually,
and the first thing is invite. So
of course
we have to choose the sentence that the sentence that similar invite, right?
Yeah, not similar. Actually, to write, or for example, an email, a business email, or for example, to invite people, of course, there are different phrases that we use, informal, informal. Now it's actually, we are talking about business contact. So of course, it's formal language. So it means when we want to invite someone, or I don't know, organization or something like maybe for an event, or I don't know, for example, something or meeting, we have some phrases. The first one that is really common, we would like to invite you. So this is inviting phrase. And
I think it's the one we like to invite you to watch it.
Of course. Number two, English isn't spoken, so we strongly recommend you.
Yeah, recommendation, right?
Of course, very good. Number three, you're also welcome.
Responding to an invite.
No, you're also, I say again, I'm giving you another alternative. Yeah, invite. You're also welcome. Yeah, it means we would be happy to have you here. And number four,
responding to an invite.
Of course. That sounds okay, really interesting. And five, as it
would be good idea.
Yeah.
Recommending.
Of course, travel with our interpreter, very good. Six, a visit to site, highly recommended. So again,
recommending.
Yeah, and I was there for the first time last month. It's well worth
responding.
No, it's again recommendation. So I say, yeah, it's good to visit there. Yeah, I'm talking about my experience. Eight.
Not really good.
Not really what I am looking for. So it's responding. Yeah. Nine. Well, alternatively,
inviting.
Of course. And the last one that would be great.
Recommending.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But that would be great. No, it can be if I want to, but let's, okay, the rest of sentence, that would be just the kind of thing I need. So if I say that would be great if you join, this is recommendation, but this recommend, but when I say, that's, just what my, the doctor ordered or what I need, it's my answer. So it depends on the second part. It can be used in recommending form or maybe responding form. So here, because of the rest of it, we consider it as respond. Okay. And well, let's see. We have some phrases here too. And let me show you. Look, there are expressions to be used. For example, a formal maybe a language or speech to invite someone to explain your plan or arrangements and to recommend and how to respond. Now, it's better to have some common. Of course, all of them are good, perfect, and you can use. But normally what we use, for example, there are some common phrases that we normally use when inviting, for example, people, and especially for an event, or for example, when it comes to business, of course, okay? So we have a business context, and now for example, we're going to invite people. If I want to invite another company, we would like is perfect. We would like to invite you. Now you can actually use the name of company or person to where event meeting. So it's your choice. And I want to show that I would be happy to have you. So for example, and it's really good to join. So we say, we believe your participation would greatly benefit, for example, this event or this meeting. So this is another firm. And of course, how to say, for example, if you need to give some detail Okay, you can say, for example, you can find, for example, attached, I don't know, a detail or agenda for upcoming events. So you can actually have some details here. Now how to respond. Thank you is really, thank you for inviting me. So that is really normal. Or if you want to be a little bit formal, we appreciate the invitation and look forward, for example, to participate. So this is a little bit more formal. And now I need detail. Could you please provide me with some information? So could you please provide me with some information? So then I ask you. So there are different. So this is the way in business actually email, I mean, so that you can use, there's some expression. Some of them are more common than others. So we will talk about them and we will write. So that is really important. So, and here, of course, we'll email you the final. So, and we're planning to, the idea, we're going to arrange. So explain your plan. And of course, how to invite, we'd like you, this is the most common. This one. Yeah. And if you have another option, so you can add this. Recommending, we strongly recommend. It would be a great idea. Highly recommended. So that is really, and it's well worth the visit. And how to respond. That would be great. That sounds really interesting. Good idea. This makes sense. Yeah.
But for the responding, it's not in a positive, it is negative thing. For example, I invite you come to Vietnam, so you say that is not, it's you don't want to go to Vietnam, and because you think it's
Of course, it's like
how
look,
responding.
it depends. It depends. For example, if it's a friendly or informal situation, so of course there are some phrases that you can use. For example, of course, here, look, that's not really what I'm looking for. So it's like formal. Okay. Of course. And there are some, for example, sometimes I want, but I can't. It's like, for example, you invite me and I really want to do this, but there is no time to do it. Okay, so there are some EDMs. For example, can I take a rain check? Maybe let's do this later. Okay, let me think about it. So for example, you invite me to do something. I can't. Maybe I've already planned. So I will give you some phrases that you can use, since formal, informal are totally different. So this one is formal. Okay, but can I take a rain check? It's like informal phrase means, for example, let's do it later. Now I can't. Let's do this later. And and for example, when you really want to do this, oh, really? We have an informal phrase. Oh, it's what my doctor, for example, the doctor ordered. It means it's really what I need. So this is another idiom. So we normally, if it's informal, we would prefer to use idiom or idiomatic phrases. So, so just remind me, and we will talk about it at the beginning of the next session. So I will give you some more alternative to talk about how to respond and how to invite. That is really important. In informal, for example, if this person is your friend, so you don't need to be too formal or to use too formal language. Okay. So time flies. Okay. So we should skip this topic for now. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Well, so have a great, wonderful, and of course, fruitful working week. And see you on Wednesday.
Thank you. See you on
You're welcome.
Wednesday.
Of
Goodbye.
course, see you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.